Since I became a tattoo artist, I have really been fascinated by how you can make a tattoo design fit in a specific place on the body. So in this video, I will take you guys with me so I can show you what I'm thinking when I am designing a tattoo for a certain place. So grab a coffee, some tea, water, whatever you like, sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. The first thing I do every morning when I come to the studio is to set up my station. I like being prepared and ready for when my clients are coming. So I usually go to the studio a bit early in the morning. Some will say it's too early, but I like waking up early and I like to get the day started. So I set up my station and then I just take the time to kind of relax in the morning. I like not stressing about anything. So I really take my time when I come to the studio just to do everything slow. In this video here, I want to give an example of a pretty cool design that has to be think a lot about when you are designing it for the specific place on the body. I had my client Casper in. I have tattooed him a lot of times and we are gonna do a cool dragon on the shoulder. And if there's something I really love, it's dragons on the shoulders. Dragons are really cool because you can shape them in every form that you want, especially on the shoulder. Since it's a curved place on the body, it has to be think a lot about when you are making the design for the shoulder. I think it's really nice to print the designs out and sit with my client and talk about what my thoughts are on the design and what their thoughts are, and then we kind of like share what we think is cool in the design. I think it's really nice to bring my clients in my world so they are a part of what I'm thinking and what we're gonna do. That's something that's really important for me. What I often do when I have to make the design for a place like the shoulder, I take some plastic, wrap it around the place I'm gonna do the tattoo, and then I use a marker to like kind of shape how I want the dragon to be on the place on the body. And then after that, I take the plastic off, put it on a white background, take a picture of it, and in that way I can kind of like sketch the dragon out how I want it to be on the shoulder. And it gives me so much freedom to actually play around with how the body are in the dragon, but also how it's placed on the certain placement on the body. That's something I do a lot, even if it's dragons or snakes, or if I have a certain spot on a body that's maybe kind of narrow or it has to be fit in really well with other tattoos. It's a really good hack, and I think especially for curved places on the body, it's amazing to do. I use a really cool brush to make these dragons. It's kind of like a scale brush for both snakes and dragons, and then I can see how the movement are from the bones of the dragon or the snake, and that helps me a lot to make correct position of the dragon, if that makes sense. But I did the design of the dragon. Casper was happy about it, so we put it on the shoulder. It can be a bit tricky to put it on the shoulder because again, it's a curved place, but we made it happen. And I think how the dragon are moving around the shoulder and across its own tail is a really nice effect for the tattoo itself. After I had put on the stencil, something I always do is to go to the mirror with my client to see how the stencil are sitting on the body. I like to both have them standing still to see like how the stencil are, but also like have them to move their body to see how like the dragon are moving when you're also moving your arm. It gives a bit more value to the tattoo. I think that's really something I think it's important to do, so I'll make sure to do that. I have done a lot of dragons on the shoulders before, and I think it's a design that's really cool because you can play around with how like the scale in the dragon are and how the face are looking and like all the movement in the dragon. You can customize it as much as you want. And this dragon here I did on Casper, I really want to like play around a bit more with the scales in the dragon. So to make the scales pop, I use a thicker line, like the outline of the body, and then the scales I use a really thin line to make sure that the lines of the body is popping out, and then you can really see how detailed the scales are in the dragon. And to give it a bit more of a play in it, I filled out some scales with black just to give it like a pattern, and I think that's a really nice effect you can play around with. Sometimes I use more curved patterns in my dragons. You can literally do everything you want. There's no boundaries for what you can do, and that's what I think is really nice for dragons and snakes and stuff like that. If we are taking a look on how the shadows are in the dragon, you can of course play around with whatever you want. Since I I have been tattooing him a lot of times, I kind of know how I wanted the dragon to be besides the other tattoos. Some of the tattoos I have done on him has a bit more shading in it. Since the dragon are a bigger piece, I want more focus on the details, so I didn't put that much shading in the dragon. I want the details to really pop out, and especially the black parts of the scale, they kind of deserve to pop out a bit. So I was keeping the shadow a bit toned down just to give it that extra detail in the design. So I think that turned out really nice. The placement on the shoulder can be a bit hard sometimes, but Casper took it so good, and I think the result of the dragon was amazing. I really like how the movement are in the dragon on the shoulder, and I think it's a really nice statement piece for the body. It gives so much to the rest of his arm, and I think we're gonna continue at some point under the dragon just to combine all the tattoos together. I think it's really nice to see, and especially to feel how happy my clients are being after a tattoo session. It's something I'm really grateful for, and I like to include my clients as much as I can in the process. That's something I really value a lot for this job, because it is something that's gonna last forever on somebody's body, and I think that's important to remind yourself about sometimes, that it's actually gonna be on the body for the rest of their lives. That's crazy, actually, saying it out loud. So yeah, it turned out so good, and I'm really happy about how the arm are starting to look. Can't wait to do more. We are always having a good time. So Casper, if you're seeing this, thank you for trusting me and let me do these cool tattoos on you. That's something I really appreciate. But yeah, I hope this video here kind of like show my thoughts on what I'm thinking when I have to design a tattoo for a certain place on the body, because before I became a tattoo artist, I wasn't thinking about it, and I think at least for me it's really necessary to have that in mind when I'm doing the design. So I hope you guys like the video and give a little bit of insight of my brain and what I'm thinking. So I want to say thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave a comment down below and I would like to answer them, and if there's something you want to see in the future, just let me know. So I want to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.